Ares has put together a group of demigods to face off against his long-lost enemy Anansi of the Orisha, and it is awesome. Oh, and Miles Morales is caught in the middle, being the herald of Anansi. Welcome back to my YouTube channel, and this is Miles Morales, Spider-Man, and we pick up where we left off with his brother Schiff, now going by the new name Jamie. Now, Jamie wanted his own life, so he had a new name. He wanted to be recognized for himself, and everyone was terrified of him. Not only was he a 6-foot buff dude, he had trouble speaking fluently, so yeah, he just seemed a bit off. Stuck eating lunch alone again. He was happy as hell when he got introduced to another friend, a fellow hero. Her name was Ghost, and like Jamie, she was built to be a weapon of destruction. They had that in common. They enjoyed lunch together. It was a bit awkward at first because they were trading stories about who had the worst life. Now, outside of that conversation, it was a good lunch. He made a new friend. Everything was going okay. But the thing is, right outside of school, things were falling apart. Ares had declared Aegon, and Anansi accepted. This upset Thor to no avail. That is reckless and egotistical. You will not have this, especially if it puts the life of mortals in jeopardy. But by the rules of Aegon, they each have to fight in one or the other's domain. And this was a problem, because with Thor being an all-father now, he could not step foot in another's domain. It was against the rules, so he accepted it, but it made it clear, if anything happens to Midgard, I will be here. Fuck the rules. Even Hercules was like, nice one, Ares. You took our biggest hitter off the board. Tactical. With Thor gone, Miles was already scared, but Anansi just said, yeah, it is what it is. All fathers are not allowed to be involved. I was corrected. I thought it was supposed to be 3-on-3, but Ares said 4-on-4. But I will allow you, Worm, to pick your teammates. I will send my axe around the planet. You have that amount of time to pick. And mind you, I am a god. It will be fast. And just like that, Miles was on the hot seat. He could have picked anyone on the planet Earth to be on his team. And mind you, planet Earth has a lot of heroes. And I mean, Moon Knight alone would have been perfect, but he was on the hot seat. In the heat of the moment, he didn't even know who to pick. Until he did, and Anansi smiled. Ooh, perfect choice, my herald. And the axe landed, and the choice was made. Hercules wondered, who did you pick? Let me guess, the Hulk, the Thing, a Wendigo, or no, Wolverine? Tell me, Spider-Man. Miles said, damn, why didn't I think of those people? And he was like, what? Do you not realize how important this is, Spider-Man? And then she said, chill, brother. It's going to be fine. Allow me to bring forth our new team. And a snap of his finger, a portal started to open up. And we see, as guessed, Schiff was one of them. Now, Schiff was with his new friend. This was a mistake. He shouldn't have been with her because Anansi don't give a fuck. He wanted to take Schiff, but he took her as well because why? Why take one when you could have both? Now, that wasn't even the oddest choice because Dr. Kwon, Miles' own therapist, was about to be summoned and she didn't know anything about combat. Or did she? She was just having a midday coffee to relax, thinking she needed a little bit more excitement in her life when a portal opened up and swallowed her whole. And now they were involved in a battle of champion, a battle of gods. As they stepped out of the portal, Hercules wondered, who the fuck are these people? Jesus! Not trying to be rude, each of them just started to introduce themselves. I'm Jade, I'm Jamie, and I'm Dr. Kwon. She looked at everyone and said, hey, that looks like Ares, the god of war, and he said, I am mortal. She almost lost her mind until Anansi said, chill, be cool, everything is okay. Ares screamed, enough games, I want war. Let us begin this contest. Zip was so excited, he said, this doesn't matter, our team will annihilate spider people. Ares, the rude fuck, smashed him in his jaw, drawing God's blood like, shut up, boy. Even Miles is like, that was rude. Ain't he your teammate? Ares did not respond. Warcry tried to pick up Zip, but Zip said, nah, I'm good. My reward will come after the contest when I'm a god. Ares still had qualms though. There was one extra person and Anansi made it clear, yeah, Miles and Schiff are one of the same, down to their DNA. You cannot have one without the other. So he count, or rather they count, as one person. You understand me, right, Ares? He clearly didn't like this, but the choice had already been made. Let's go forth to my domain and begin. Aegon. Miles was nervous as shit. I mean, God, Anansi, where's he taking us? Even Hercules didn't know, but he was excited to find out. And when he saw this land, he knew instantly, this is Olympus. What remains of it after the Great War. Ares looked at him. You remember this land, do you, brother? You couldn't even help them when they needed you the most. This was like a slap to his face. How could I help them when I didn't know this war even happened? Where were you, God of War? Why didn't you help them? Ares said, why would I? Everyone looked at me as the Chaos Lord, the Warbringer. Why would I help them? And it was to his benefit that Hades died, releasing him from death. Now I'm here, and it is time for battle. I pick you. You are the first champion to die. As we see, his first selection was Dr. Kwan. She wasn't even a fighter, but it was his first choice. And now she fights his champion, the god of agriculture, a really nice guy. You see, he didn't even want to fight, but he had to answer the call. He was an Olympian. It was his duty. And so he was going to fight with all his might. With one attack, they knew instantly Shorty was going to die. She was relatively mortal compared to this demigod. Even Hercules pointed out that he is close to my strength level. Ares, swap her and put me. She will die. But Ares didn't give a damn. The choice had been made, and Anansi was looking to respect that choice. Now, when I say the god of agriculture is a nice guy, I meant it. He was a nice guy. Every single chance he got, he prayed to the earth for blessing, which in turn boosted his strength. He enjoyed having a conversation with mortals, especially her, because he didn't know, but she was a therapist. So, yeah, she was good at talking. But he didn't come here to talk. With his plow, he struck earth, and she was quick enough to dodge, landing one strike. Even him had to admit that was a powerful punch. But you see, I punch powerful too. And with one punch, she flew like a bullet, breaking down a pillar. Miles said, fuck this, I'm going to help. But Anansi said, stop, stopping him from even moving his body. Even Miles was like, bruh, what the fuck? You want me to watch my therapist die to a nice guy who keeps praying to the dirt? Anansi said, yes, this is her story. Let her battle. The beatdown was insane. He hit and hit and hit her down. Even all the gods were watching like, damn, this is not impressive at all. Deciding he was done torturing her, he decided to launch the final strike, and Dr. Kwan was planted in the ground with his plow in front of everyone. Miles had to watch powerless as he could do nothing. He must have even hit it so hard his plow couldn't come out. But here's the thing, it could. It was just being held by someone. As Anansi corrected, I told you to shut the fuck up and watch. Now see the truth before your eyes. As the god takes a punch to the face, drawing god blood. There was power here. Power strong enough to defy the gods. As we are introduced to two glowing green eyes, we see the doctor was not a doctor no more. She was gamified. She was Hulk-like. As we know, the Hulk is the only one strong enough to defy the gods. It's about to be wicked cool.